So today we're going to see about the data communications in the high-speed networks. Okay. So first we're going to see effective and efficient data communication and network facilities are vital to any enterprise. That is contemporary data communications. This trend is influenced by the three different forces have consistently driven the architecture and evolution of data communication and network facilities. The three influence factors are traffic growth at the high and steady rate and the development of new services. And the third is advanced in technology. The third is advanced in technology. So these are the three trends influenced by the effective and efficient data communications which is placed in the high-speed networks. Next, some significant changes will lead improvement in network technology requirements. These include a growing need for high-speed LANs in the business environment to support requirements like centralized server frames, power work groups, high-speed local bones, use of digital electronics, etc. This is the basic concept which is going to see about the data communications in the high-speed networks. The next part is the communications model. The block diagram which we shown now is simple, and it will be the basic diagram to understand every concept, everything in your high-speed network. The fundamental purpose of communication system is the exchange of data between two parties. Everything going to see here is between the sender and the receiver, that is source and the destination here. This section introduced a simple model of communication. Using the simple model you can understand all the key concepts here. The key elements of model, these are the key elements. Let me see the one by one. The key elements of this model are source, transmitter, transmission system, receiver, and then the destination. So let's see what all the key elements will do what. Okay. First, the source. It generates data to be transmitted. The transmitter here, this is the transmitter, it converts data into transmittable signals. First, we have to generate data to be transmitted, and then we are going to convert data into transmittable signals. Next, the transmission system, it just carries the data. It just carries the transmittable data from source to destination. These two, source and transmitter, is the source. Receiver and destination is placed as a destination system. In the middle, the interpreter, that is the transmission system, it just carries data from source to the destination. Next, the receiver. The receiver parts converts received signal into data. Finally, the destination takes the incoming data. These are the simple key elements which is placed in the high-speed networks over here. Next, for example, workstation, this is a server source, that is a source, and the server is placed as a destination. The interpreter is a telephone network. Okay, in between the modem, it will mainly used to carry a data from source to the destination. Okay. Next, the key communication task. If you just sending one message from source to the destination, have to there will be some key communication will be placed in this data communication part. Let me see one by one. First is the transmission utilization. The following table lists a selection of key tasks that must be performed in data communication system. That will be you have to going to see now. First is the transmission system utilization. It needs to make efficient use of transmission facilities, typically shared among a number of communication devices. Okay. Next, the device must interface with the transmission system. Interfacing. The interfacing part is the device must interface with the transmission system. Next, the signal generation. Once the interface is established, once this again done, that is the interface is established, signal generation is required for the communication. There must be a synchronization. The fourth one, there must be a synchronization between the transmitter and the receiver to determine when the signal begins to arrive and when it ends. So the synchronization part is important here. There is a variety of requirements for communication between two parties. That might be collector under the term called exchange management. Okay. Next, error detection part. This it will be required to assure that the source does not overwhelm the destination by sending data faster than they can be proposed or can be processed or observed. This will be used by the error detection and correction. Addressing next is addressing and routing. These part, the addressing and routing. So a source system can indicate the identity destination for particular destination and can choose a specific route through their network. The recovery allows an interrupted transaction to resume activity at the point of interruption or to coordinate prior to the beginning of the exchange. Next, the message formatting. Why the message formatting is here? This has to do with the agreement between the two parties, that is receiver and destination, of data to be exchanged or transmitted. Next is security. What is the part of security over here in data communications? Frequency need to provide some measure of security in a data communication system. Finally, the network management. Network management capabilities are needed to configure the system, overall the system part, monitor its status, react to failures and overloads, and plan intelligently for future growth. Okay. The network management part is the most important vital role in the data communication. You just configure the whole system, monitor the system status, update status, react to failure and overloads, and plan intelligently for future growth. These are the key communication tasks which is placed in the data communication. Okay, this is a simple block diagram for the data communication model using the input formation. We will get the output information over here. First, we go sending the text in the source. It will be sent as a digital bit stream. First, input formation is taken, sent by the M. Okay, this M. Then the transmitter. What the transmitter part will do, it converts the data into transmitted signal. Then the transmitted signal, it is placed as G of T. What the next part, transmitter system, what it will do? It carries the data from the source to destination. So the transmitted signal will be converted as S of T. So here, digital bit stream is converted into analog signal. Okay, again it carries the data from source to destination, that is a transmission system. Next, the receiver. It carries a received signal into data. Received signal into data. Then here, the received signal is converted as R of T. First, we just sending the message input information as M. So here, it just converts the data into transmitted signals. Transmitted signal, that is S of T, and then it just carries data from source to destination, received signal, that is R of T. Next, the destination, it just takes the incoming data. So again, the analog signal is converted into a digital bit stream. The final output is to get as M power. Okay. Transmission medium. Why the transmission medium is needed to communicate between the sender and receiver? So for that, because we have to entirely, we have to choice of the technology to communicate between two. So here the selection is a basic choice to communicate. The long distances you have to take it by the carrier. Okay. Fiber optic, we can contact through the two communication between two technology, maybe a fiber optic or a wireless. Fiber optic, if you use a fiber optic, high capacity getting cheaper. The wireless mobility, portable. The transmission cost is still high. Still the transmission cost is high. Hence, interest in efficiency improvements using the multiplexing and compression. Okay. These are the simple concepts we have seen in the data communication. First, we have to need some key elements. What are the key elements to transmit the medium? And then we can see the block diagram. Using the block diagram, we have seen the key communication task to entirely build the system, and then the basic data communication model with message M and M0. After that, the transmission medium, the rate of the transmission has been. Thank you.